Good evening, cadre. Normally it's a morning shave, but if you follow along my journal, we've got some strike activity going on at work. And the result of that is I work in the quality department, so we get to work a little extra time, so I have to be at work at 5 a.m. All this week, which means no shave in the morning. So I've done a couple evening shaves throughout my shaving career, but they've always been just kind of a for relaxation thing. I don't think I ever purposefully wait until the evening, maybe late afternoon, that kind of thing. I'll be doing that all this week. So long awaited, this is my first Paladin brush. You can see it's a briar wood finish. It's not wood, but it's made to look like briar. 30mm knot. This is my first use of it shaving. Yesterday with my leftover lather, I lathered it up, let it soak for a little bit, rinsed it out, just to kind of get it ready. We'll be using Ariana and Evans Revolution, just because I love the scent. I know it's quite the lather. I'm curious how much soap this sucker is going to take up. This is the biggest knot that I've ever used. The SV brush, which is pretty big, is a 28mm knot. So interesting though, maybe because I haven't used it much yet, but this looks much larger than this one. We'll see what happens. Also, I'm very tired. I'm not sure what's happening with my shaves. I know I'll be doing evening shaves, but if I happen to wake up before I have to, heaven forbid, maybe I'll do one in the morning. So because I might do back-to-back shaves and stuff, I'm just sticking with the most efficient and mild shave that I can get. And this is what I used in my last video. This is the Timeless with the Wilkinson sword blade. So this is the second shave on this. I love playing with the head so you can see right through. Man, it's a hot looking razor. Anyway, this very well might be, other than when I first started and only had one razor, the longest that I'll have used one setup if I go through the whole week with it. Because I did it this weekend. I had some hotel shaves, so I went mild with those. And I'll keep doing it. But no further ado, I did, with some ado, I also smeared the heck out of my lather bowl with the soap. This is probably twice as much product as I normally use, again, because I didn't know how much this thing is going to suck up. So let's get started. So I promised my brothers on the Shaving Cadre, there's a story that comes with this. And this brush has already been named, and this is the brush of shame, and I will tell you why. So I thought I would never own a Paladin brush. The SV brush that I just showed you, my wife got me for my birthday, I think 2 years ago, the first birthday where I was into traditional shaving. Love that thing. But since then I've gotten very much into the Sorrentino brushes. Well, I should probably have variety, but I just love his craftsmanship is amazing. They're over less than half the price of one of these or an SV brush or any of the other high-end things, and it's like it's made to order. I mean, so that's pretty cool. You just get in touch with them and say this is what I want, and talk through the shapes and colors and all that, and that's what you get. Anyway, I know lots of guys have the Paladin and just sing its praises, say how wonderful the knot is. But I thought, you know what, I'd rather get two Sorrentinos instead of a Paladin. Well, then the master enablers of Shaving Cadre kick in. I don't remember how it started. I know Spider got on a kick. He had some Paladins, bought some new ones. Dave in Kentucky bought his first one and got sucked in and bought many of them. Dave, you bought many of them. But still, I was like, they're really just not my style. I like the wood handles that I get from Sorrentino. I'm not too much into I don't even know what this stuff is, acrylic or something, or epoxy handles. Anyway, and then I saw Chad got one, his first Paladin, and it was a briar handle. And as soon as I saw, now I do, I'd say I do some pipe smoke. It's been quite a while. I want to do pipe smoking. It's just not as convenient as other things. So I like the briar look. I love the look of a nice polished pipe. And I saw his brush and I'm like, okay, that's gorgeous. I sure would like one that looks like that. Well, I teased him about, let me know when you get in trouble from your wife for buying that, and I'll get it from you, all this. Well, Dave in Kentucky was awfully nice enough to let me know mere days after that, I knew maybe one day one of these brushes would come up again and I'd hit it just right and end up with one, but no rush, right? And this is the knot is holding pretty well together. When I use the SV brush in this bowl, still, I get slop over the sides and stuff. This is just great. Probably, we'll see. It might be a little more thicker than I want. It's still a little bit yogurty, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, Dave happens to post, by the way, there's a briar on his, I don't remember what he calls that page, but basically his seconds, the ones that are not perfect. So you get to save a little bit of money on them. And of course I go and look, which is wrong decision number one. There it is in all its glory. Beautiful, gorgeous. I look at it, I close the page, look at it, close the page. So now I'm thinking, and I'll tell you, right now this is very nice. I was afraid that this would be way too big, given that I've got all this stuff here that I don't shave. It would be too big for my face, but it's holding together very nicely. Nice dense knot. So I'm thinking a few things. One, I just not too long ago got my last Sorrentino. I think it was just last month. I think the two before that, my wife made a comment or something like, you got more brushes? So I knew the excitement for more brushes was, let's say, a little lukewarm in the household. But, and I've also been doing really well holding off on soap purchases to the point where I'm getting a little antsy. Didn't do any of the Black Friday, Cyber Monday, made it through all that without buying any soaps. But probably like a lot of you, I've got the running mental list that keeps changing and getting attitude and all that added to basically almost every day when I see somebody shaving with something I've never tried. And it's getting pretty darn close. I'd had a shopping basket full of soaps more than one time that I closed. But I have pretty much decided that I would make one purchase within the next couple of days or so of soaps. Not a lot, 3, 4, 5 soaps, something like that. From just one place. I wasn't going to go all over the place. So I thought I justified. So that was one thing, right? Is like, don't need any more brushes. It's gonna buy some soaps. Shouldn't be spending, you know, a lot of money on any shaving stuff. But I thought, well, you know, I could justify like half the cost of it of not if I didn't make a soap purchase again, you know, anytime soon. That'd have been about $100 worth of soaps. I just won't do that. There's half the price of the brush, right? So there's hurdle one down. With our kids primarily, we have a rule. No, we set a time frame after which they can't buy anything for themselves until after the holidays. Two of them have birthdays right around Christmas. And you have Christmas. So you never know what people have already bought in you that know what you like. So we don't need them buying things that, you know, people already have wrapped up ready to go. I certainly, when it gets closer to my birthday and then pretty much from there till Christmas, I think anything on my wish list I can't get, or anything that I've really talked to my wife about, I can't get for the same reason. And it's frustrated me sometimes. You know, there'll be some soap that I really want, or something that I actually know I put on a wish list and I'm ready to buy it. My birthday's not for another month, but I really can't because I've already put it out there, right? Saying, hey, somebody, I would like this. But Paladins, we all know you can't do that with, right? It's there, it's gone, it's there, it's gone. If you happen to catch one you like, you better grab it, because goodness knows when it'll be there and still be available when you go to the site and want to get it. So, hurdle 2 down, right? Availability. Kind of justified the cost of it. Figured my wife knew I was interested in a briar brush, but you know, this one won't be there. I assumed she'd probably been done shopping for my Christmas, and who knows when this something like this would ever pass my way again. I like the handle too, and that's a another thing. Not only do they have to have the color you like, but it's got to be the handle style you like, because there are some styles on there I really just aren't my thing. So obviously I got it. Cursed out Dave in Kentucky for a while for, you know, basically leaving me in a position where I could not buy it, right? I think everybody understands that. And actually the day hadn't come yet, but I was the day that I was actually going to tell my spouse that I had done such a dastardly deed, but check this out. Got it at a little bit of a discounted price. You know, you got to grab these things when they're there. What the luck of having just the one that I wanted at just the right time and all this stuff. And I get this text from her. Did you just buy a briar brush? I'm like, Well, gentlemen, I think I mentioned it one time before, but every now and again my wife peruses the forums of the shaving cadre. I think before she just kind of wanted to know, you know, we talk a lot about you guys and some of the stories, and you know, all the family's seen some of the videos, and she actually knows people by name, and she knows a Sorrentino brush, and she knows CBL soaps and all that. So I was busted. So yes, this briar brush. Well, it's not just that I got busted for buying something for myself. One, didn't need another brush. Fairly expensive brush. Right before the holidays. Apparently she had been in contact for some time with the folks at Paladin about getting a briar brush for me. I guess circumstances had lined up just in such a way there was going to be a brush drop. One of those was going to be a Paladin. And she bought it. So we each had a briar Paladin brush on the way. And when I bought mine, folks at Paladin apparently put 2 and 2 together, but you know, didn't want to break any privacy. Thought maybe I was buying one for her and she was buying one for me, so they knew what was going on. And then so she emailed them and it said, hey, did my husband happen to just buy a briar brush? And they were like, yeah. So, unhappy wife notifies me that I ruined my main Christmas present for the year. Not happy. I'm buying things for myself. She did like this handle very much, though. So, that's just the story of why this beauty will always be known as the brush of shame. And I forgot. There's lemon. So I guess to quote Sean Connery from The Untouchables, and thus endeth the lesson. So I've got backlogged on videos for you guys. I got a few hours before I got to get to bed, so I'm going to fire up the big screen, watch all your faces in living high def, and I'll see you on the forums.